In the world of the Gothic, all roads lead to Dracula. And in fact, I'm standing above a fictional crossroads here in Purfleet, in Essex. The novelist Bram Stoker knew this area well, and in Dracula, he named the vampire's Essex estate Carfax, from the French quatre faces, meaning four faces, or cardinal points of the compass. And it's in this place, with its sense of four different directions, that the novel moves to its conclusion. Dracula has 50 boxes of Transylvanian earth. Its vitalising properties help to keep him alive. Transported to this spot from Whitby via King's Cross. So when you look down at those buildings, you're looking at Dracula's domain. But how did he really get here?
In terms of the plot, the answer's straightforward. Carfax appears at the start of the novel. Dracula buys the house when the unsuspecting agent Jonathan Harker pays him a visit at his Transylvanian castle. Harker shows him some black and white photos of the place. Kodaks, taken with one of the first mass-produced cameras. Deal done, and Dracula has a little piece of England.
Beyond the storyline, what I mean when I say, how did Dracula get here, is also, how did Dracula get up here? How did he come to enthrall and fascinate us in such a powerful and all-pervasive way? There had been vampires before Dracula, but none like him. From the point of his creation in the mid-1890s, he looks both backwards and forwards. Backwards to the gloomph of the classic 18th century Gothic novel, with its dungeons and haunted castles in foreign parts, and forwards through the 20th century and into our own time. His influence has infused our culture through a veritable blood bank of further novels, comics, films, TV series, you name it. And I think the question is, how did it happen? How did this extraordinary mythical creature come to take possession of our collective imagination?
Whitby, where Dracula lands before going on to take possession of his Carfax estate. But to understand the phenomenon of Dracula, we need to go beyond the Yorkshire town with which he's become so associated. Dracula lives on, remains undead, because Stoker kept his tale chillingly simple. A terrible creature arrives from foreign parts. A vampire which sucks the blood of its victims, each becoming a vampire in turn. Dracula's purpose? To travel to London, the heart of British society, and infect it with the vampire virus. He's elusive, difficult to catch, but that's the appeal. Onto his darkness we can project any anxiety we wish. He's been plague, famine, syphilis, AIDS, even computer viruses. But what would his first audience have made of him in the late 19th century?
Bram Stoker's Dracula gripped readers because it held up a mirror to a society full of foreboding. The novel's dark vision of a world where there are only vampires and victims played on a real anxiety. The fear that a terrible change was taking place in society, that the modern world really was being stalked by a monster who dwelled not in a Transylvanian castle, but in the citadel of the modern market.